Now I want to look at today the biggest fool of all. Yes, the biggest fool of all. It's found in Psalms 14 and verse 1. Psalms 14 and verse 1. It says, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God." Now, why would a fool say this? There is no God. Did you know the Bible answers this question? Let's take a look at it. Romans 1 and verse 26. "For this cause God gave them up to a vile affection, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet." Well, now what was the cause for this perverted sexual appetite? Well, again, Romans 1 and verse 28 says, "And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to this reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient." In other words, because they didn't think it was important to have God in their knowledge. Now, why didn't they think it was important to have God in their knowledge? Well, maybe they didn't like the way God works. You know, people sometimes begin to study certain things about God and they just don't like the way God works. Like, from the beginning, God created them male and female. Some people don't like that, you know. This is the way God created, you know, you got to look at creation if you want to get things straight. Well, from the beginning, God created them male and female. And so God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Well, what things were not convenient? Well, men with men, women with women, engaged in sexual activity. So now we have a motive for why the fool would say there is no God. People don't just out of the blue say, "I don't believe in God." You know that, don't you? There's always a motive. People always have a motive for the reason they believe the way they believe. All right? What's your motive for what you believe? Just a question. Now, we're talking about the fool who has said there is no God. All right? The fool has said there is no God. Now,